Well, Cook Jewish is back, and I misplaced my video camera, so I'm making this video with my phone. It's Hanukkah, it's the season of frying things, and a little known secret is that deep fried catfish is very traditional among Jewish communities. I'm just kidding you, but hey, that's what I'm making tonight. So I got over here, I got about 2 pounds worth of catfish fillets. These weren't that big, they're about so I got about 6 catfish fillets there. I got a plate of flour, just plain old all-purpose flour there. I got some eggs. That's 2 eggs right there. A little bit of oil, a little bit of garlic powder, a little salt right there in the eggs. I'm gonna mix them up a little more. And then over here, for the second, dipping, I got more all-purpose flour and some cornmeal, some salt, pepper, smoked paprika, all mixed in there. Cornmeal, flour, about a 1-to-1 ratio there. I got a whole bunch of peanut oil right here in my Dutch oven. I got it to about, 2 inches deep right there. And I got a temperature probe in there that's going to keep track of things, So you don't got to have a deep fryer per se to do this, but you got some cast iron, you got a Dutch oven, got yourself some peanut oil. Hey, you got some deep frying goodness. So we're going to make some catfish here. I'll show you just a minute there. Alright, so the first order of business here is to get some Evan Williams. The second order of business is to drink some. And then the third order of business is to, shake a little salt on the fish fillets here. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to flip them over and put some salt on the other side. Maybe a little pepper too, That's how we like it. And if you don't like catfish, that's okay. You use whatever fish you like for frying. You want to use haddock, you want to use something else, cod. I don't know what you want to use. I love American catfish. I think it's a great fish, Like I said, it's very traditional to have catfish on Hanukkah. All right, that's my sugar now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, here we go here. So I'm just going to do that on both sides, and then we'll get to the other business. All right, so now with each fillet, I got salt and pepper and some smoked paprika on each side. And now what you're going to do is a repetitive process. You're going to take each one. You're going to dredge it in flour. Okay? That's dip number 1 right here. We're going to just dredge that in flour. Make sure you got flour all over, nice and even. You don't want it thick or nothing. You can shake some off. Shake some flour off there. Alright, make sure this is the first one I'm doing, so I'm going to make sure before I dip it in the egg mix. So my egg mix is good mixed up. Alright, egg mix is good mixed. It's just egg with a little bit of, garlic powder, some salt, a little bit of vegetable oil. Alright, so go back here. Shake some of that flour off of the fillet. And just dip it in the egg. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so nice. Alright, let the egg run off. Lift it up and let the egg run off there. Alright, get some of the egg off. Now over to the second, dip material there. This is our cornmeal flour mixture. And you don't want a real thick coating on there. If you do, make something like a beer batter. You want a real thick coat, and make a beer batter for yourself. Batter it, This is a thin coat. Alright? It's going to be a nice thin coat. Shake some of that off. And then while you're waiting to fry, or you're getting all the other ones ready, what a lot of people recommend is you put it on a drying rack. A cooling rack set on top of a baking sheet, so if anything drips off of it, it don't mess up your stove or your countertop, nothing like that. So I'm just going to do this with the other 6 fillets, and then we're going to be ready to fry. Alright, so I got about 4 fillets done now. Now you may find that when you're doing this, a couple of things. One, turn the flame on your pot of oil. Get your oil preheated, you're ready to deep fry. And another thing, you may find, as you're doing this, that your hands is getting, kind of all clumped up with the egg and flour mixture. Take a break, go wash them off. You don't want those big clumps in your, in your fish. Yeah, it takes an extra minute or 2 to wash that off. So what? It's a labor of love. You ain't rushing it. You're taking your time. You're making this with love, so that it comes out real delicious. So you go do that. And I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna finish these other 2 fillets I got. All right. So now all my my fish fillets is, they've been dredged, egg, and then the final dredging is sitting there waiting to be fried. Now what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for my oil in my Dutch oven to heat up. Now if you don't got a deep fryer, that's okay. You use a Dutch oven, you can deep fry in that. But I think, if you don't got a deep fryer with a temperature gauge on it, you got to use a temperature probe. Because you're not going to get a good deep fry unless the temperature is accurate. So, for example, right now you can see, according to my temperature probe, the temperature of the oil is 240, and it's coming up rapidly because I got the flame on high. It's coming up there. You want it to be 375 before you throw your goodies in. So keep that in mind. You really want to do that. You don't got to spend a lot of money neither. You can get a good accurate temperature probe for $15-20. Maybe it don't sit on the edge like mine does, but whatever. But take the guesswork out of it for yourself. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself a temperature probe so you know what temperature you're frying at. Now I'm looking at the size of my Dutch oven. I'm looking at the size of these fillets. I'm going to fry 2 at a time. And after the 2 is done frying, I'm going to wait for the oil to come back up to 375 before I throw the next 2 in. So temperature is important when you're doing this. You don't got to have real expensive equipment, but you do want to have a little bit of equipment. Alright, so my oil's gotten above 375. It's actually 385 and climbing now. So what I'm going to do is use a pair of good metal tongs to grab a fillet, put it in there. I'm going to grab another one, throw that in there. About 2 minutes I'm going to flip them over, make sure to cook them real even, and then let them go another 2 minutes, and then I'll take them out and put them on a plate with some oil, with some paper towel on it to let the oil drain off. So that's all we're going to do. We'll take a look over here at the temperature gauge. Because the fish is cold, the temperature's going down, right? So, we're going to keep the flame on high. We're going to adjust the flame, make sure that we keep the temperature up high. Hopefully it's going to stay above 370, right around 375. Starts to get too hot, I will turn it down. But right now it's looking pretty good. I got my flame on high right there. This is 18,000 BTU burner right there. See a little oil splashing out. You got to be careful. This stuff will it'll hurt. So, take good care when you're doing this. Deep frying is serious business. One thing you may want to do early on is just get your tongs down in there and just gently nudge the fish. Make sure make sure your fillets ain't sticking to each other or to the bottom of the pan. And I say, how the heck could they stick with all that oil? But you'd be surprised what happens sometimes. Cooking is mysterious. It's a little bit magical. So you got to take care of business. All right, now how do you know your fish is done? If you're worried about that, stick a temperature probe in it. This fish is pretty hot. I just pulled it out of the deep fryer. It's pretty hot on the inside in the thickest part, so it's definitely done. And safe temperatures for fish, I don't know, 140, 145 at a bare minimum, but this is much hotter than that, so I'm not worried about it at all. Well, that's about it. This fish came out absolutely delicious. Just fantastic. And I recommend, if you're looking for something to eat it with, I like a little chipotle mayonnaise. It's pretty delicious.
Oh, thanks.
And also a little Evan Williams, because, hey, there's never enough love in the world. So, put some more love in the world. Cook Jewishy. L'chaim, Mazel Tov, Happy Hanukkah. Hope you're having a good holiday season.